In our Earth Matters series, while war abroad threatens the stability of oil and gas prices around the world, a different kind of battle back in the U.S. has big oil running for cover. CNN's Bill Weir looks into a new legal challenge that hopes to hold oil companies accountable for their role in climate change.
For the seventh straight year, Washington's famous cherry blossoms are blooming early. One of the prettier warnings that Earth is overheating. Much less pleasant are the record-shattering heat domes out west, or the life-changing flash floods in Hawaii, or any of the billion-dollar disasters mounting by the year. Evidence shows these are intensified by every gigaton of fossil fuel burned, and that oil companies knew it would happen decades ago. Internal memos are the basis of over 24 lawsuits brought by cities, states, and tribes, all hoping to make big oil pay damages. But President Trump wants to shut them all down, one way or another. After rejecting 5 appeals from big oil in the last 3 years, the Supreme Court finally agreed to hear the case brought by the city of Boulder, Colorado. But some Republicans don't even want to take their chances here with this conservative court and want to pass a new shield law guaranteeing that executives from big oil would never get sued ever again.
Clearly, this is an area in which Congress has a role to play.
In a recent hearing, Wyoming Republican Harriet Hagman asked the Justice Department for legal help and hinted at the kind of liability shield that was given to gun makers after mass shootings brought a slew of lawsuits.
To that end, I'm working with my colleagues in both the House and Senate to craft legislation tackling both these state laws and the lawsuits that could destroy energy affordability for consumers.
It's enough to bring Jay Inslee back to town, one of the few Democrats to ever run for president on climate action.
I am kind of playing the role of Paul Revere here. The bears are coming, but the oil and gas industry is coming.
It's been a long 7 years since the former congressman and governor of Washington launched his campaign in storm-ravaged Iowa. He was trying to keep climate in the debate, but now the party in power is at all-out war with climate science.
Hey, why do you have a picture of Senate Republican leadership?
With all of spine.
But his party has no clear national leader focused on this issue.
These oil and gas executives are terrified of having to face their own record. They're terrified of being cross-examined and read the things they wrote back in the 70s and 80s that predicted this catastrophe that we're now experiencing. It's worse because at the same time we are exposed to enormous increased costs associated with energy, in part because they had a corrupt scheme with the president of Mar-a-Lago. He said, give me $1 billion and I'll prevent your competitors from doing business. So this is all part of a corrupt scheme to not only deprive Americans of access to the cheapest electricity in America, which is solar, wind, and batteries, at the same time gouging Americans for electricity prices and gas prices, to then turn around and say, and we're exempt from all the laws, we're above the laws, we don't have to be accountable for our deception. And Americans should revile that action, and we should not allow it.
Harriet Hagman, who beat Liz Cheney in Wyoming for her seat now running for the Senate, we reached out to her because I was dying to ask more about this idea that if big oil gets taken to court, it'll add even more to the gasoline bills these days. But she wouldn't talk to us right now. That the worry is that this is the kind of thing that gets slipped into an appropriations bill on a Friday and never gets debated.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story. Bill Weir, thanks, buddy. Thanks, appreciate it. Well, next,